The design and construction of Main Street USA was a unique collaboration of set designers, architects, and construction crews. Set designers from the Walt Disney Studios had never attempted creating permanent structures, while the construction crews had no knowledge of Hollywood's set-building tricks. However, the two groups learned from each other to create the beautiful rendition of a quaint turn-of-the-century town that is still thriving today. When looking at past Disneyland photographs, you might notice that Mickey Mouse has changed his appearance over the years. Before Disneyland, Mickey had never met his fans in person. In fact, on opening day, he had to borrow his costume from the Ice Capades. Like any Hollywood celebrity, Mickey updates his look from time to time to keep his image fresh and contemporary. But despite the pressures of being a movie star, Mickey remains both humble and friendly. Although his usual outfit is a tuxedo, Mickey has many different costumes. After all, he wants to look his best when he greets his many fans. Main Street USA is the warm and wonderful way guests enter the Magic Kingdom, and has been since the park's opening day. Inspired by Walt Disney's childhood home of Marceline, Missouri, this quaint Victorian-style thoroughfare gently leads guests away from their everyday lives and into the magical world of Disneyland. Main Street USA portrays a time when America was more simple. Automobiles and horses shared the same roads. Both electric lamps and gas lamps lit the streets. By the time guests reach the Central Plaza at the far end of Main Street, they're ready for all the exciting new adventures that await them. Welcome to the heart of Disneyland, Main Street USA. Above the fire station on Main Street is the apartment Walt Disney built for himself and his family. Its Victorian styling is themed around Main Street, and it offered the Disney family and their guests a comfortable place to relax. Although the Disney family has not used it in many years, it looks the same as when Walt stayed there. Look close. The light in the front window is kept on to symbolize that Walt's spirit still watches over Disneyland. When Walt Disney learned that there was space available at the 1964 New York World's Fair, he asked his Disney Imagineers if they would create a little boat ride. Over a mere 9 months, It's a Small World sprang to life at the Walt Disney Studios before being shipped to New York. When the World's Fair ended, Walt had It's a Small World relocated with tremendous fanfare to Disneyland Park, and it has entertained guests ever since.
It's the most unique musical timepiece ever created.
Mixing Polynesian, Asian, and African architecture, Adventureland provides guests the opportunity to visit exotic, faraway places. Walt Disney sought to capture a sense of adventure in those areas of the world people may never actually visit themselves. On the park's opening day, the Jungle Cruise was one of the most exciting of all the park's attractions, inspired by the great rivers of the world. And when the Enchanted Tiki Room opened in 1963, guests flocked to see the world's first audio animatronic show, featuring some 200 exotic birds, flowers, and tikis.
Incidentally, everything about these birds is synthetic, including their feathers.
This land continues to flourish with its ever-growing, ever-changing sense of exotic excitement. Welcome to Adventureland. The Old West springs to life once again in Frontierland, which Walt Disney created as a tribute to the faith, courage, and ingenuity of the pioneers who blazed the trails across America. Inspired by the cowboys and frontier folk of the 1870s, Frontierland invites every budding cowboy and cowgirl to cruise the rivers of America on a stunning replica of a vintage steamboat, or take a thrilling ride on the runaway train of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, or explore the mysteries of Tom Sawyer's Island, which Walt Disney designed himself. Welcome to Frontierland.
Next stop, Tomorrowland.
Presenting an optimistic vision of the future, Tomorrowland inspires and entertains all who've experienced its wonders. Because of various advances in science and technology, Tomorrowland's vision of the future has evolved, more than once, to remain up to the minute. Such popular attractions as the House of the Future and the Flying Saucers may have come and gone, but Walt Disney's enduring hope for the future has remained. With new state-of-the-art experiences and updated versions of everyone's past favorites like Autopia and Space Mountain, this land continues to inspire and enthrall us all. Welcome to Tomorrowland. One of Disneyland's most animated and entertaining attractions, the Pirates of the Caribbean, was originally envisioned as a wax museum. Thankfully, Disney Imagineers realized that their technological advances in audio animatronics and a water-propelled boat system could make Pirates of the Caribbean far more interesting and dynamic. Now, guests float past a Caribbean town being ransacked by pirates and learn very quickly that dead men tell no tales. Scary, kooky, and very spooky. The Haunted Mansion mystifies guests with its amazing special effects. It took 15 years of planning and construction to create this magnificent mansion that is home to 999 happy haunts. Although the Jungle Cruise has been a part of Disneyland since opening day, not much of the original attraction remains. The first animals were primitive and mechanical, but over the years, improvements by Disney Imagineers have made them more lifelike. The first skippers gave a much more serious tour, until 1962 when the Jungle Cruise was updated and a more humorous look at the jungle emerged. This inspired the skippers to create the wisecracking commentary we know today. After all, how many tours can show you the backside of water? Inspired by such great American rivers as the Mississippi and the Missouri, the rivers of America may appear substantial, but they're really only 5 feet deep. The rivers are the perfect home for the Mark Twain, a reproduction of an authentic riverboat. The hull of the Mark Twain was created in a Long Beach shipyard, while the upper decks were built at the Walt Disney Studios. They were all brought together and assembled on site at Disneyland Park. The introduction of the Mickey Mouse Club coincided with the creation of Disneyland. On opening day, the original Mouseketeers were on hand to sing and dance for all the guests. But since the show had not yet debuted on television, few people knew who they were. The summer heat might have been a little trying for the younger Mouseketeers, but nothing kept these talented performers from giving their all to entertain the crowds. No land symbolizes the realization of Walt's dream quite like Fantasyland. It is a special place where children meet their favorite characters from Disney films. Fantasyland features sophisticated, fun, and sometimes even scary attractions. The story-driven rides were first mocked up and tested at the Walt Disney Studios before being shipped to Anaheim. There, studio craftsmen were brought in to put the finishing touches on the flying sailing ships, spinning teacups, and galloping horses.